Some time ago, I was facing a huge imposter syndrome roadblock that really interrupted my creative process. In this video, I'll be exploring in depth what imposter syndrome is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to overcome it. If that sounds exciting, let's get right into it. So what exactly is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is that persistent feeling of self-doubt and fear of being exposed as a fraud, despite evidences of your achievements and capabilities. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone trying to navigate life, I believe this sounds familiar. You may think you are alone in this, but trust me, you're not alone. Let's look at some common examples of imposter syndrome. If you've ever been a newbie in any organization, whether in school or at work, and you're finding it hard to fit in, and it looks like you don't belong in the system, it is most likely a case of imposter syndrome. If you've ever been jealous that a friend is doing better than you are, you may not be a terrible person, at least not entirely. You may just be suffering from the effect of imposter syndrome. And the final example, if you've ever gotten a huge opportunity and for some reasons you tell yourself, I just got lucky. Maybe not. You may just be an imposter. Now, you may relate to one or more of these examples and you're asking, how on earth did I allow imposter syndrome into my life? Let's explore why imposter syndrome starts. It often stems from various sources, such as the belief that you have to be flawless in everything you do. For me, I guess I discovered this early, and here's how. When I was in GS3 or thereabout, I started to write the lowercase letter A as a double story. If you don't know what that means, this is the letter A as a single story, and here is the letter A as a double story. But as I practiced, I noticed that every time I tried to write the letter, it would appear differently, and that made me look into it in everything I did, from singing to speaking to writing. Like if I had to script this video, I will not do it the same way as the first time. Hence, my conclusion that perfection is just a myth. Also, setting unrealistic expectations for yourself could bring imposter syndrome, and this is where I'm a culprit. I'm so fond of putting unnecessary pressure on myself, making me to have unnecessary expectations for myself. For instance, there was a time I was not doing well in school, and this made me to expect an extremely terrible result. But to burst my bubble, I did pretty good and better than I had expected. And also, there are times that I had worked hard on some exams and still I didn't live up to my expectations, which made me feel depressed and disappointed in myself. But however, I have realized that if not for the unnecessary pressure I had put on myself, I would not have entered depression, and I will not have had imposter syndrome the following semester. Also, being surrounded by people who do not value you may lay a solid foundation for the devil's mansion of imposter syndrome. You see, no matter who they may be, if they are not trying to help you maximize your full potential, but letting your potentials go down the drain with words of discouragement and confidence-breaking criticism, you have no business being around them. Because if you stay around them for so long, those negative words will eventually be ingrained in you. And let me tell you, people's opinions about you does not justify your abilities or capabilities. Trust me, you're not what people say about you. You are way beyond that. And I'm not trying to inspire you to aspire to Maguire. It's just the truth. Lastly, we let our failures define our possibilities of success. I have discovered that as a student, when you get acquainted with failing when it doesn't matter, then your tendency of public success is high. But if you allow even subtle failures scare you away, your chances of success becomes slimmer. Now that we understand what imposter syndrome is and why it happens, here are some practicable tips on how to overcome it. Very recently, I had a very huge opportunity and I felt like I don't deserve the opportunity. The first thing I believe that really helped me was the fact that when I was communicating to a friend, I could tell him that I was having imposter syndrome. That realization and acceptance opened the way of escape from suffering from its bite. Number one way to overcome imposter syndrome is realization and acceptance. Realizing the situation you are in and accepting the situation you are in. The next thing I did was to write down everything I did that brought me closer to that opportunity. This reflection exercise opened the door of gratitude and self-belief that the little things I did without expecting much result actually paid off. So number 2, reflection. My reflections and self-belief made me think positively going forward that no matter the door of opportunity that opens to me, I must have knocked on that door. And that makes me to be more optimistic about my subtle actions that may just be a door that I am knocking and would open up opportunities that would possibly change my life. So number 3, be optimistic. After doing that, you need to speak up to people around in that environment to help and support and even encourage you. And trust me, that is very important because it may save you from taking a bus going to Nyanya when your destination is Lugbe. Number 4, seek help from people. Now, after doing this, you must now open your mind to continuous growth and learning because they are key ingredients to living a progressive and transformative life. Number 5, embrace a growth mindset and understand that learning and improvements are ongoing processes. It's been such a great pleasure making this video, and remember, imposter syndrome is a common struggle and it doesn't define you. By implementing these strategies and seeking support, you can break free from its grasp and unleash your full potential. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep believing in yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. See you at the top. Bye.